Thank you, Mr. Pierce. This semester, we received a handful of nominations for the keynote speaker, and it was difficult enough to make a decision. Now I would like to invite Ms. Sarah Clark back to the stage to introduce our student keynote speaker.
It is my privilege to introduce Sanat Wagh. Sanat is an international rocket from Pune, India. He started his journey as a mechanical engineer major, but found his passion in the College of Business and Innovation, where he majored in finance. The last 4 years, he has served on executive boards for the International Student Association, the Student Allocation Committee. He is also part of student government, presidential ambassadors, the Charler Leadership Academy, and he represented the University of Toledo at various events, such as the UT Invitational Sales Competition and the U.S. Department of Energy Solar Competition, where he and his team ranked third in the nation. Third in the nation. That's pretty amazing. He has also completed multiple internships during his junior year and served as the president of the UT Foundation Student Managed Portfolio. Besides watching cricket games in his free time, he has volunteered his finance and business skills to help nonprofit organizations across the nation. For his academic excellence and contributions to the community, he was awarded this year's College of Business and Innovation Finance Pacemaker of the Year Award. This is the college's highest honor. As he ends his journey at the University of Toledo, he was happy to impact the campus one last time and recommended the chime sculpture that you may have seen outside of Snyder Memorial. This young man has been an asset to the University of Toledo, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. He truly embodies what it means to be an international rocket. He is academically successful and he is working to improve the community around him. It has been a true pleasure to watch him grow over the years. I admire his dedication, his perseverance, and his willingness to always take on a new challenge. I have personally watched this young man grow into an outstanding professional, and I could not be more proud to have him here with us today. Please join me in welcoming to the stage.
You guys can keep clapping, it feels amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Let me start by saying thank you. Thank you to the families, parents, guardians, friends, for supporting us in many different ways throughout this incredible journey. Thank you to all the professors, faculty, and staff at the University of Toledo for their unmatched contributions to our lives. When I first came to Toledo, it was my first time being away from home. I'm gonna be honest, I was scared. I was all alone. Everything looked different, everyone looked different, and I didn't know where the Tata I had hopped on was going. Instead of turning left on the Bancroft, it turned right and my heart dropped. So in this foreign land, thank you to the amazing CIS family for making a home away from home for us in Snyder Memorial 1000. When I was first told that I will get the opportunity of speaking with you at this amazing event, I was like, all right, let me make this hilarious, funny, and relatable. And then I saw the Oscars. But according to BuzzFeed, the only step to make a commencement speech great is that the speaker should be authentic. So just like me, I'll keep this short and light. Pursuing knowledge and achieving a higher education degree is an amazing achievement. But this achievement is not limited to the diploma we receive here tonight. We have achieved a world of things in the last 4 years. If I may be so bold, this year's class of 2022 was one of the most successful classes in the history of the University of Toledo. We survived the global pandemic called due tonight at 11:59 p.m. Our inboxes were regularly invaded by professors and Blackboard announcements. And despite all the bar closures, we found innovative ways to consume record-breaking amounts of alcohol. But seriously, We did survive a global pandemic, which was an unfortunate disruption to all our lives, personally and professionally. We saw at least 4 to 5 once in a lifetime events in the last 4 years, but we made it. Tonight, I want us all to take the time and think about what we have really achieved here. I'm going to read a few things. If it applies to you, I want you to say I, loud and proud. Okay? I'm going to read a few questions. You have to answer I. To pursue their dreams, who had the courage to travel across the world? I. Who worked multiple jobs to support that dream? I. Who learned to cook their own food for the first time? I. Who nearly burned down their house while trying to do that? I. Who experienced snow for the first time? I. Who walked to classes or work without worrying about that snow? Sometimes in the last 4 years, even though no one else was around, no one else said it, who looked into the mirror and felt proud? You all should. And I know we have a lot of sports fans in the house, so I gotta ask this. And this is the last one, so I need you all to be really loud. My dear friends, if college was a game, who won? I. You see, we achieved a lot in the last 4 years. We tried, we failed, we got back up, and we continue to strive. Now, at the risk of sounding cliche, I say that the world ahead is full of endless possibilities. Keeping that in mind, I was asked here tonight to share a few things with you that I may have learned in the last 4 years. But that seems like a futile endeavor. I can ask you to be brave, but you being here shows that. I can ask you to finish what you start, but you being here shows that. So I'll leave you with 3 simple things you may not hear as often. Number 1, do what makes you happy. There will be things you have to do. There will be things you need to do. But my dear friends, when you have an opportunity to do what makes you happy, I really hope you take it. You see, I started out as a mechanical engineering major, and I soon realized that it's not what I thought it was. I was always interested in business and management and strategy, but I chose to be practical when deciding my major. When I switched to business, I realized that I'd be missing out on the co-ops, the STEM extension, and most importantly, I'd have to accept joke from our beloved engineer friends who think all we do is dress nice and do presentations. But seriously, there's only one thing I knew. I will be enjoying what I will be doing. One of the most successful American businessmen said, and I quote, "People rarely succeed at anything unless they have fun doing it." I see great potential in this room, and the possibilities are endless. Do what makes you happy. Number 2, it's about the journey, not the destination. I came across this incredible story. Paulo Coelho, in his book, The Alchemist, tells the story of a young man looking for wisdom. It doesn't have to be a young man. It can be any one of us. We're young. We're graduating tonight. We're looking for success. We're looking to find our purpose. We're all looking for wisdom in one way or another. But here's how this young man's story goes. Once upon a time, there was a young man, and he was really determined to find out what being successful meant. He was really curious. He decided to embark on a journey to meet the wisest man on the earth. He traveled through dense forests, climbed mountains, and crossed rivers. He took the same path your dad used to take to go to school. He traveled great distances for a few days, and then he finally arrived at this big palace, this magnificent palace. Lush green gardens all around, horses running in the distance. He saw all of that, and then he got into the line to speak to this wise man. After waiting in line for a few hours, he finally got a chance to speak with him. After listening to the reason why this young man had traveled, the wise man said, "Young boy, I cannot tell you what the secret to happy and successful life is. You'll have to find that out yourself if you visit my palace." He gave the young boy permission to visit his palace on one condition. He gave the young boy a spoon and an egg. He said, "Go around the palace, find answers you seek, but as you do, make sure you don't drop the egg." The young man was very surprised by this weird condition, but he accepted it and he went forward. He went from one room to another, climbed one flight of stairs after another, and after a few hours, he came back to the man. The wise man asked him, "Young boy, what do you think of my palace? What about the tapestries hanging in the dining room and the garden that took the gardener 10 years to complete? What do you think of the library? It's the biggest in the world." The young man was mortified. He was so focused on making sure he doesn't drop the egg, he had missed all of that. The destination will be important. It's important to have goals and ambitions, but the journey is equally important. Now I know what some of you are thinking. What a doofus, right? I wouldn't drop the egg, but I would look at the palace. Well, let's look at our last 4 years. If right now I ask you all to name one memorable lecture, I don't think anyone can name one. On the other hand, if I ask you, I'm sure all of us have at least one story where you and your best friend did something incredibly stupid and still have a good laugh about it. On most days, you would have found me in the College of Business or the library studying. I was involved with a lot of different organizations and had fun organizing events. But my most memorable moment happened 8 states away from the University of Toledo's campus, the place I like to call heaven on earth, the beautiful state of Montana. It is my sincere hope that you find the opportunity to do what makes you happy and enjoy the journey. And as you do that, I ask you one last favor. Have a purpose. As you go on to do great things in life, have a purpose. I always say this about my country, but it also applies to the whole world. Alaska se Kiribati hai hamari, kisi ko to khayal rakhna padega. Which means from the westmost point of the world, Alaska, to the eastmost point, Kiribati Islands, the whole world belongs to us. We gotta take care of it, right? If I may quote the great Dalai Lama, many of our problems stem from putting ourselves first at all costs. If I may add, when you dedicate your life to service of others, the service of mankind, there's only we. There's no I. There's no you. And without you, your problems, they don't exist. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Congratulations, class of 22. Thank you.